Cooper Flagg is the Rookie of the Year in my book. Let's dive into why. All right, guys, so there's a clear debate here as to who's better between Cooper Flagg and Kon Knueppel. Not so much who's better, but who should be the Rookie of the Year, right? I wanted to give my opinion on that. To me, I think Cooper Flagg is the Rookie of the Year candidate, is the Rookie of the Year choice, and I'll tell you why. But I want to talk about Kon Knueppel first. Having watched this film, Kon Knueppel, exceptional basketball player, not just a shooter, right? Obviously, his primary role on the court is to score the basketball from behind the three-point line, by way of the three-point shot in a myriad of different ways. So that is his game, but I don't think that we can limit him to just being called a shooter. I've seen him create his own shot and get to the lane. He has a good little floater bag and plays off 2 feet in the paint as well. So while his game is primarily structured around the three ball, he's also able to create within the paint and inside in the mid-range and in that area. He's a really good scorer, okay? He can really get you a lot of points. Now, here's the thing about Kon Knueppel, okay? And why when we put him up against a prospect, a player like Cooper Flagg, I think there's a clear distinction as to who is more important to their team. I've said before, the way I use numbers, 1, 2, 3, the 1, the 2, the 3, I don't use it by position. You know, when I've coached in the past historically, what I do is I say that based on my best player. So the 1 is my best player, the 2 is my best player. Sometimes I'll say based on scoring options, like 1 is my number 1 scoring option. So it could be any position. That could be a wing, that could be a forward, right? He's my 1. I'm going to him first to try to score the ball, and then sometimes in certain contexts, if we're talking about personnel, then I'm going to use it in the context of who's the best player overall, including defense, rebounding, and all phases of the game. You really can break down basketball into 3 phases of the game. That's offense, defense, and the glass, right? And similar for football, the glass would be like special teams, right? It's a little bit smaller of a portion of the game, but it's still pivotal. It's not, obviously there's much more that goes into offense than there is that goes into rebounding, right? Rebounding is about boxing out, perhaps having the length to be able to get long rebounds and jump over people if needed. In any case, that aside, right? That digression aside, Kon Knueppel is a 2 or a 3 in that context. He is not a 1, okay? And that's not to take away from him at all. And that's the thing. People will take this as an insult a lot of the time. But the reality is, Kon Knueppel is best suited to play off the ball with another facilitator or scorer on the team who's able to command gravity, okay? That's where Kon Knueppel is going to be the best. And shit, he might be the best 2 or 3. It depends on the Hornets right now. With Brandon Miller, he could be 2A or he could be a 3. I mean, it depends how you look at it, right? He could be the third option. But he's probably like, guys who embrace that role like him are extremely valuable. He's going to be very highly paid, okay? And he could be one of the best 2 or 3 options in the entire game ever. Like, maybe not ever, but when you score 203 pointers and set the rookie record for threes, and you're doing and making the impact that he is making, there's always going to be an argument for all-time rankings. Okay, people like to hold that off for a long time and wait until people are deeper in their career. I don't do that. If I see something that's exceptional, that's clearly on trajectory to be a GOAT, then I'm gonna say it. Like Kon Knueppel could be one of the greatest 2 or 3 options, second or third options of all time, based on what we're seeing for him as a rookie. Okay, he really could be in that category, in that discussion. Cooper Flagg, however, is a 1. Okay, in every sense of the word, Cooper Flagg is a 1. He's going to be the best player on your team. Okay, he's going to be your best scoring option. He's going to be your best player overall, defending. He does everything. Okay, I saw Kenny the Jet talk about this on TNT, and he gave Cooper Flagg the nod for this reason. He said he used the word responsibility. Cooper Flagg has larger responsibilities than Kon Knueppel, and I would agree with that. Knueppel could not play the Cooper Flagg role. Cooper Flagg could play the Knueppel role. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Cooper Flagg could not play the Knueppel role as well as Knueppel can. Okay, Cooper Flagg could not be the second or third option and be as effective as the second or third option as Knueppel is. But it's if you take that above replacement concept and you look at it that way, if you switch Cooper Flagg in for Kon Knueppel and he has to be the third option, he has to play off the ball with LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, you know what I'm saying? That guy, he's still going to get something done. He's going to make an impact. He's going to have a defensive and board-related impact, and he's going to be able to make shit happen off the ball as well. Maybe not 200 three-pointers, maybe not that good, right? But he's going to make an impact. Kon Knueppel, if you ask him to go be the number one option on a team, he's not going to be able to do that. And that does not take anything away from him as a player. I was talking about Moussa Diabate. I did a series of videos on the Hornets, right? The Hornets, I really enjoy watching the Hornets, by the way. I don't use the word favorite team because I don't know these guys, and like, I have bills to pay and shit. I'm a grown ass man. I don't worry about who my favorite team is, right? I'm not 10 years old. But if I had a favorite team, I'm just going to be paying attention to the Hornets, okay? They're going to be the team that I'm really like keeping an eye on and trying to, see where they go, because they're exciting, they're young, they look like they're on pace to be one of the better teams in the league this year and potentially win a championship in the coming years if they can pay all those guys and keep them together. I mean, we're talking about Brandon Miller, LaMelo, Kon Knueppel, Miles Bridges is pivotal to that team, Moussa Diabate. People are going to start throwing money at these guys. Kobe White just got traded to them. Kobe White coming off the bench as a sixth man, leading his own lineup, could be really valuable, playing that Russell Westbrook old person role. I mean, when I say that, I don't mean that to be pejorative, but Russell Westbrook, right? He's another guy who's a number one option. You can't put him next to James Harden and expect that to work. He has to have his own lineup. If he's going to play on a team with other talented players who are going to score and you want to give those guys the nod as far as the starting lineup, he's got to come off the bench and lead his own lineup, right? That's the way I see Kobe White on that Hornets team. If they can pay all these guys, I mean, they have Grant Williams. They have some guys, right? We'll see if they're going to be able to pay all these guys in the over the time frame on which championships are won. Because first of all, they don't have the best team. I wouldn't call them the best team off rip. I would say like there's still some stuff like that needs to be ironed out to continue to improve and grow, right? But yeah, I mean, even if you have the best team, you're not just going to win a championship automatically. There's luck, injuries play a role. You, in terms of organization building, you need to have the best team over the course of decades, and you'll win like 6, 7, 8 rings, right? That's the way you got to think about it. And I think that's the way that winning organizations view roster construction. You build the roster and you try to maintain it in a sustainable way to have one of the best rosters and be among the top band for a long time. And the numbers are going to work out. It's a numbers game. You're going to end up winning some championships. That's the way you got to that's my belief. Anyway, yeah, so but that's the point I'm trying to make is Knueppel playing that one role, which is obviously more valuable to a team, is hard for me to see, given the way he plays off the ball. He would need somebody to attract the attention. If he's the best scoring option and he's getting all the attention and he's playing off the ball, then, you know what I mean, what's going to end up happening is that they're just going to not leave him alone at all. You know what I mean? There's no threat of LaMelo Ball taking somebody's ankles and you need help over there. You need to pay attention to Brandon Miller, otherwise there's a lob threat. Miles Bridges might bully you in the paint. If there's none of that shit going on, then Knueppel becomes easier to contain as an opposing coach, right? And again, that takes nothing away from his impact as his role. When his job is to be the third scoring option, second scoring option perhaps, right? Second scoring option, second threat that the defense needs to handle. And if your first and second threat are doing their job and you're the third threat and you're that good, your team is going to be fucking insane. Okay? And he has constructed his game in that way. That's what an off-ball shooter does. Look at Klay Thompson's career, right? Klay Thompson is a great way to... Klay Thompson is a great comparison for Kon Knueppel, although, again, I've said this before, and I think Kon Knueppel has a little bit more in his bag in terms of creating his own shot than Klay Thompson does. Klay tries to get into that, and especially since he's been on the Mavs and shit, he's tried to be a little bit more flashy, but that's not his game, and you know, he might not be comfortable with that realization, right? And that might be why he's forcing shots and shit. But it's not his game. Knueppel can create his own shot. He can shoot off the dribble. I mean, bro, when you're able to pull up from behind the three-point line because your range is so deep, they have to guard you 4 feet behind the three-point line. This Knueppel kid is insane, okay? He's really, really good in his role, right? Cooper Flagg is the one. He's the LeBron James. He's the the Magic Johnson, right? He's that guy on the team. He is the one that's drawing all the attention, making plays for his teammates, scoring, being the first option, creating everything. It's completely different, completely different role. And for that reason, I do think Cooper Flagg is the Rookie of the Year. It's tough to win the Heisman when you're an O-lineman, okay? You can be the best O-lineman and probably have more impact as an O-lineman than the running back does. Truly, that's possible. Because the running back could just be mid and you're opening up these big holes, and you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't say anything about who's the better player and who's not, but I think for Rookie of the Year, you got to give the nod to Cooper Flagg.